Hey guys, today we are out here in the beautiful deserts of Arizona. It is currently 45 degrees outside and I'm unveiling one of my absolute favorite PCCs out there. Now, it's been around for quite some time, but I finally got my hands on it once again. It is going to be the RUGER PC charger. Now, the PC charger is going to be completely disassemblable, so it fits very, very compact, and this one is going to be considered a pistol. So for a pistol caliber carbine, obviously you can still have a brace on there. Pretty damn sick. Now, with it being so cool and everything, it does feature that 1/2 by 28 inch thread, so you can actually attach whatever type of suppressor mount that you want on there. I have today the Dead Air Key Micro, so it will QD with my Dead Air Primal. Nice and quiet and super accurate still. Now, is it the absolute best PCC out there on the market currently right now? Probably not, but it's still my favorite. You still have yourself the B&T APC9s, which are absolutely freaking based. The MPXs from Sig Sauer, those are super great as well, but then those usually have a hefty price point. Now, you can get them for roughly about $800 menu cheeseburgers or so, so there's no exact price on there, but it is going to be under $1,000, which is phenomenal with these things. So they do work and operate amazingly. Now, the real question is, why the hell would you want one of these things? For one, it's under $1,000, which is fantastic for a PCC. 2, it works and functions phenomenally. 3, it is compact and relatively easy to actually store. The main purpose of these things, in my opinion, is going to be more of a PDW or like a backpacker type of deal. So you can actually carry it around fairly easily and you don't have to lug around like a super heavy weight or anything. Now, this thing does weigh a whopping amount, so it's going to be super heavy, but it does mitigate a lot of that recoil, so you can actually have a lot of fast follow-up shots in general. It does feature a nice last round hold open. The only gripe I actually have about it so far is that it does not have a typical magazine release. It is going to release from that left side, so you do have to pretty much grab onto it and then rip it out that way. So it does disassemble and detach like any other handgun. There are some aftermarket parts out there that you can actually attach, which will allow you to actually have it on the right side. But in general, a little bit cumbersome, but it takes Glock magazine, so I'm not too worried about that. So if you have yourself a nice little 30 rounder like this one, you'll be perfectly fine for a PCC. Now, where it really does shine is going to be home defense. It's super easy to operate. It will allow you to use any type of hollow points also. I have here some subsonic loads and a nice little dead air suppressor. So we'll see if this thing cycles up pretty well. It'll cycle through, it has a lot less recoil, and it will eat everything up. This thing's like a cookie monster. Once it actually has some ammo, it'll just nom that whole entire thing, which is phenomenal on this thing. And as we have a little bit of time, we are going to go over its natural features, okay? So first off, right here, we're going to start off with a 1/2 by 28 inch thread, so you can actually put on any adapter that you actually want on there. I went with the Key Micro because I run suppressors all the time. Right here is going to be a nice 6-inch barrel. With a barrel also, it does detach and it does hold 0, surprisingly enough. And so it is a very, very solid system. So you don't have to worry about having a red dot on this Picatinny rail. It will hold 0. It even has this little wrench right here to actually adjust your timing a little bit. Right here is going to be the bolt right here. It does have a last round bolt hold open, so you can pretty much know when you actually have it empty. It makes it a lot easier when you actually have a new loaded magazine to actually pop it inside, and then you'll just charge it back like an AK or so. Just like that. The safety is going to be a button type right here, so you can actually switch between the two. If you got a little bit of that moolah, you can definitely get yourself one of those Franklin Armory binary triggers, which is phenomenal. And right here, you're also going to get a pistol grip. Now, these do take mil-spec ARs type pistol grip, so you can actually just swap between the two. If you want some Magpul on there, it'll be a fantastic furniture option. The backside right here is going to be a Picatinny rail type, so you can actually put whatever type of brace type or stock type that you actually want when you are building it up as an SBR. I went with a brace so that I can actually keep it legally as a pistol. But the only problem with a brace is you cannot have a vertical foregrip. This one is definitely not a vertical foregrip. It's more of a hand stop, so that's perfectly fine. It does come with the PC charger, so I'm super happy with that. Looking at the other side, nothing super crazy. That is going to be the magazine release right here. As you can see right here with a little tiny hole, that shows that you can actually change your charging handle from the right side to the left side. So whatever's a little bit more natural for you, you can actually do so. Now with these holes right here, if you actually notice, those are QD points. So you can actually put your QD slings on there if you actually wanted to. But it is a cool system. Now, if you're curious on how this thing actually disassembles, it's super fast and easy, okay? You just got to bring that bolt back just a wee bit. You see this little tab on the bottom right here? Just bring it down that way, twist, and it disassembles immediately. Now, let's take a look at the sizing real quick. I got myself the nice little Milwaukee miniature little tape measure. So if we're taking a look at it from the very back end of that brace all the way up till the little muzzle port right here, or the barrel port, we're looking at around 11.5 inches. That's not super big or anything like that. It is going to be fairly small. I believe most of you guys can take it anyway, so take it with a grain of salt on that one, okay? So as a disassembled folded brace, you are getting 11.5 inches. With the barrel having it attached right there, nice and easy and quick. With the barrel, we are looking at 18 inches with that Dead Air Key Micro, but it will be roughly about 16.5 inches if you are looking at it from that end. So this thing is smaller than most AR-15 barrels in general. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, if you notice the whole entire magwell side right here, it looks like it can actually come apart. It can. It comes apart when you actually take the frame apart from the actual receiver. So when you take the frame apart, you can actually swap it out. What it comes with originally is going to be the Ruger American style stuff, so it will come with a Ruger magazine. But they also include that little tiny adapter, so you can actually swap it out so that you can actually have the Glock magazines. Ruger knows that most people get the Glock mags anyway, so that's why they were kind enough to actually have that Glock one ready to go for you. Apparently they do have other modules for it too, but Glock is usually the way to go. That way you can have all that modularity with the Glock magazine, get all of the standard extended capacities on there too, and it will accept those drum magazines for Magpul also, so that's pretty freaking fantastic. Also forgot to mention that it also has M-LOK on both sides and on the bottom, just in case you want to put some accessories on there. And if you're in the least bit curious, this is an F-150 center console. Boom! It fits directly in there, no problem. Still has all the little part-a-roos right here, so you can actually still assemble it nice and easy, even if you had a nice QD suppressor type right here. So everything is nice and compact. You can use this as a regular good old-fashioned PDW. Unfortunately, it does not fit inside the glove box. It's just a hair too big. Maybe if I had a smaller optic, but in general, though, it's working pretty okay. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What good are all these super cool features if the firearm itself is not accurate? Well, I'm here to tell you it definitely is accurate. Let's do a 5-round shot grouping. I am roughly about 25 to 30 yards right now. I didn't get a little pace count right here, but 25 to 30 yards or so. We're going to do a couple headshots and see how that grouping goes. Let's check it out. So at 25 to 30 yards or so, I was aiming roughly around here at the C, and I was getting all 5 rounds inside that little itty bitty little grouping right here. Look at how beautiful that thing is. If you're looking at it, a brace can be used as a hanger also. That's pretty neat. That's a cool little tiny feature right there. I know it's not designed for that, but still, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So absolute final thoughts on the RUGER PC charger pistol. Absolute 9 out of 10. 100% 9 out of 10. The only reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 was just mainly because it didn't have a more natural thing. I'm more of an AR-15 guy, so I'm used to actually pressing for a magazine release. But other than that, all of its features, including the takedown, making it as small as possible, the recoil management, the way it shoots, the accuracy and everything, would be a solid 10 out of 10 out of it. The only thing I have is just dexterity and functionality. That's about it for me. Other than that, absolutely perfect pistol. 9 out of 10. A really high 9 out of 10, okay? A RUGER, if you can figure that out, that'll be super cool. Either way, I would highly recommend this for pretty much everyone. It is a fantastic build. If you're a camper, this would be perfect also. If you want to use it for home defense, this would also be perfect. You know, if you're using it for home defense, go ahead and get yourself one of those higher capacity magazines, not high capacity magazines. Get yourself a drum if you actually want to. It's going to feed through everything. It's going to eat everything too. Use it with hollow points and everything like that too. I haven't had any issues. I've been shooting hollow points through this thing. A couple of the Federal HST plus Ps, eating it up like nothing, you know? This is absolutely why it's my favorite PCC. It's fun to shoot. It's fun to actually have and everything. Is it the best PCC? Like I said earlier, probably not. There's also the SIG MPX. There's the B&T APC9. There's a CZ Scorpion, if anything, if you actually like a bunch of polymer. But for this thing, they actually had users in mind. They just wanted to have you have as much customizability as possible on here. They wanted to give you all the parts that are super available, like the Glock magazines. So they really, really thought it out. It is really thought out to be for the end user, you know? Like, share, comment, subscribe down below. If you haven't already, go visit my Instagram page, follow that thing. I'm trying to build that up currently right now. It would do me a huge solid. Other than that, as always, thanks for stopping by.